Hi, welcome to Dupi Animations. So today's tutorial is going to be based on a question a friend asked about creating a simple intro for a music show. And this is what I came up with. As you can see, it's simple, but you can still add more if you want. Please kindly like, subscribe, and comment. But remember, everything you see here is all done in After Effects. There is no third-party software or plugin involved here. Alright, so let's open After Effects. Let's create a new composition, 800 by 800, 15 seconds. Let's create another composition. This is going to be our main, 1920 by 1080. Now the first composition, the 800 by 800, let's come to the tools bar here and select rounded rectangular 2, okay, and double click on it to carve a perfect rounded rectangular inside the first comb. Alright, now let's open the rounded rectangular. Then the roundness, let's go something like 100. Let's see. Then let's off the stroke. Okay. Then the fill, let's go white. Alright. Now let's copy it. Then come to the main. Now let me create a new solid layer inside the main. Alright, it's for measurement. Okay. Come to view. Then select show rulers. Then click the top one, the top rule, then map it here. The left one to the map it in here. Alright. Alright. Now let's paste the rounded rectangular shape that we copied from the first comb and paste it here. Okay. So let's position it in the middle here. Now we can do away with the rulers. Now let's make this shape 3D. Then press R on the keyboard. Then flip this on -90. Okay. Now let's come to geometry options. Then there's true depth. Let's go something like, let me see, 100 first. Not enough, so let me make it 150 and see. So 150 is okay for the first half. Okay. It's a microphone that we are creating. This is my own style of it. Okay. I did not watch a picture when I was designing it. So I just created this one from my own imagination to do the tutorial. Okay. Alright. So with this, let's pull this up. Then right click in, new. Let's insert in just a simple light first. Okay. A parallel light will do. Let's choose a parallel light. Okay. Alright. Now let me switch the view to custom view 1. Okay, so we have this. Let me pull the lights back a bit. Let me duplicate the lights. Control D. Then let's move it to the other side. Then stand on the point here. Then switch it to this angle. Okay. Let me go up a bit. Then let's look down a bit more. Cool. So the same thing, we can do it to the other side too. Okay. So all that we have to do is just duplicate it again. Then move it to the other side. Then switch the angle of the camera. So something like this is okay. Okay. Alright. Now, let's come inside the shape. The bevel star, let's select angular. Then the bevel depth, let's go 10. Okay. So this is okay. So now let's come to active view, active camera. All that we are going to do is just duplicate this, Control D. Then the bottom one, let's make the extrusion depth 100. Alright. Then let's pull it down. So what we are going to do here is this. Here we are not going to use the fill, we are going to use the stroke. Okay. So let's on the stroke. Then the fill here, let's off the fill. Okay. So right click inside your scene, come to new, then select camera. Alright. So let's say, okay, let me leave the camera at 15 millimeters for now. We will change it later. So let me press C, camera, rotation camera, then rotate this a bit. I want to see the bottom well. Okay. Okay, now let's come here. The stroke, let's go, let me see 10 and see. So I think 10 is okay. Now let me reset the camera here. Let me reset it. All right. So what we are going to do is just duplicate again, Control D, duplicates, then bring it down. Okay, just like that. Select these two, then Control D to duplicate again, then bring them down. Press C to bring out the zoom in camera, zoom out a bit. Then press C again, then C again twice, then pull it up for panning camera. Okay, now let's duplicate again, maybe these two. Let me duplicate this. So these ones are going to be the last one. Way too much. I think, let me take one off. The last one, let me take it off. Okay, so the top one, I'll duplicate the top one, then bring it down to end this. Let me bring the camera again, C, then zoom out a bit, then C, then pull it up. Okay, and bring this down a bit more. Okay, so this is enough. All right, now the top one, we are going to duplicate it again, then this time change the color. So let's duplicate it, then let's give it a color of something like blue, a blue color. Okay, then let's click on the cascading arrow beside it, then come to the geometry options, then the extrusion depth, let's go all the way till it hits the bottom one. Okay, now let's come to the contents here. We are going to work on the rectangular shape. Okay, the path size, let's reduce it to something like 700. So let me type 700 here. Cool. So this is okay. Or if you like, you can make it 720. So let me make it 720 so that the spacing within it won't be too much. So now we have this. Okay. So this is going to be our microphone. Okay, let me bring this thing out here. Let me see this one. Okay, I'm going to zoom out again. All right, let me zoom out again. Then bring this, press C, the panel camera, then pull this up. All right, so now the last shape there, duplicate it. Okay, then like how we did the first one. Okay, the extrusion depth, let's go all the way down to 1000. Right, then come inside the contents here, the rectangular shape, then the size, let's reduce the size. All right, then the roundness, let's go all the way up so that it will be more rounded. So let me bring this thing down a bit more. So now we have something like this. Let's take it as this being the microphone with a little bit of stick under. Okay, so let me duplicate this one, then bring this one down, come to contents, rectangular shape, the path, the roundness, let's go up so we have more round there. Then the size, let's scale it down. Okay, let's scale it down, then bring it up here. We just link it to the bottom here. So now we can leave it like this. So this is going to be our microphone. Let me press CC. Okay, then bring it, pan it down, then C again to zoom in. All right, now what we are going to do is we are going to apply material. Okay, so let me come here, I have some distance here. Let me copy these images, then bring them in. So let's select this material. This is what I'm going to use for the reflection. So let's click and drag it down. All right. Let me take out now. I forgot to take out the black that I used for the measurements. It's still there, so let me take it off. So delete. Now let me scale this material up. Let me scale it up to fit. Okay. Then right click on it. Then come to then select environment layer. Okay. So once you select an environment layer, it's off. It's gone. There is no need even to take it off here. You see, it's not there. Okay. Now the first one, let me select it. Then click on the cascading arrow beside it. Come to material options. Then the intensity, let me see 50 first. You see that? You see some changes happening here. You can crank it up to 100 and see what happens. You see how intense it is. But first, let me stick to 50 first. Then from there, come to specular shyness. Let me go all the way up. The specular shyness 100. Okay, so the specular shyness is 100 and the reflection intensity is 50. Okay, by watching this, I think the reflection I use here, the material I use here is too bright, so let me go for the second one. There's more darkness inside, so I'll scale the second one up to fit. Okay, let me take off the first one. So the new material that I brought, this one will be best. Right click on it, then select environment layer. Okay, yeah, so that one is far better. Okay, so now what we are going to do is we are going to apply the reflection on all of these. Okay, so select the next shape, come inside its material options here, then the reflection intensity, let's go 50. Then the specular shyness, you can go 100. See that? Just like that. The next one to the same. So this material options, reflection intensity 50, specular shyness 100. So let me quickly do this so that we continue. All right, so now we are done with the material application. Now you see how rich your microphone is. You see, so this is our microphone head. All right, so now the next thing to do here is let's create another composition. Okay, let it be something like 1920 by 1920, and let's name it spectrum. All right, now we have this. Right click inside the spectrum composition, new, then select solid layer. Okay, then come to effects and presets, then type audio spectrum. See this is under generate. So audio spectrum effects, then apply it. Okay, so it's here. But because there is no audio inside our scene yet, that you can't see the bars, all right? Of the images that are brought in, I have an audio voice here that I'm going to use. Okay, so I'll click and drag it under here. Okay, so let me play the audio for you to hear.
The national president and executives of
all right, so this is the voice I'm going to use for the audio spectrum. Okay, so let's come to the effect control. Then where it says here, audio layer, okay, I'll select this one, Aglo. So let me select it. You see that once I use the audio, the bars are coming. So when I play it, okay, see, you see, you see the bars working there. All right, so now let's do some changes here. Let me see, start frequency 20 is okay. Then the end frequency, let me make it something like 300. Then the frequency band, let me go 100. Let me go 100. The frequency band, see? Okay, it's working. Let's see again, maximum height. Maximum height, the height, let me make it 4,000. Then the thickness, I think 10 is okay. All right. So I'll leave it like this. So after this, I'm going to create marks on this, okay? So with the ellipse tool selected, I'll hold the shift key and click and drag on the surface of this, then double click to center it well. So this is enough. When you come to the audio spectrum effects, where it says path, and it says here none, so I will change from none to mask 1. So you see this? See that now it's following the path of the ellipse. See that? Okay. So I'll duplicate this again. I'll duplicate this. Then I'll rotate it. Let me rotate it so that the position it this way. Then maybe scale it down. Let me scale it down. All right. So something like this is okay. Let me duplicate this shape. Then double click on it. Okay. Then hold the shift key. Then scale it down a bit. So this is okay. So what I'll do is I'll come to effects and type stroke. Right. Then apply it to it. Okay. So when you apply the stroke, you see that it has affected the first masking instead of the second one. Okay. So for this, it's not a problem. Just come to the stroke path, then change from mask 1 to mask 2. So that it will come here. See that? Okay. So you can decide to maintain this color, or if like, you can change it. All right. So now let's come to the main here. Click and drag the spectrum, make it 3D, right? Then duplicate, then leave one at the back, then press R, then on X rotation, let's go 90. So this one is going to be the one on top that I'm going to lay under here. Now let me switch the view and see top view. Everything is all right here. Now let me back to the active camera. Then the scale, let me move it down to the bottom here. The scale, press S, then scale it up. Let me scale it up more. Okay, the one behind, let me scale it also up a bit. Let me scale it up. Okay. Now let's create some composition where we are going to lay some video, image, or pictures. Okay. But before that, right click in new, then select null objects. Okay. Then make the null object 3D. Let me see if it's in the middle well, top view. Okay, it's there. Let me see left view. All right, it's well positioned. So let me capture the active. So I'm going to take off this camera, then bring in maybe something like a 15mm camera. So this camera will go. Then right click in again, new camera. Let me use 15mm. All right. So this camera will do. Now map this camera to this one. So let me name this one cam control. All right. Okay. So let's create another composition, 1920 by 1080. Okay. Then bring in an image or a picture. So I'll bring in this picture. Let me scale it down. So this is okay. So come and select the rectangular shape. We are just going to draw on the surface. Or let me just take this off. Let me just take the image off first. Okay. Then just draw a rectangular shape on the surface of the comb. So this up to somewhere here would do. Okay. Then take off the fill so that it will be left with the stroke. Then increase the size of the stroke. So this is okay. All right. Now you can bring your image. So let's click and drag the image down. Then scale it down. So this is okay. So now on the shape layer or the stroke, type light sweep. Okay. Then apply it to it. But because it's white, you are not seeing it. So change the shape layer stroke to black. Let me change it to black. So now you see that the light sweep is showing. So the light sweep intensity, let's crank it up to something like, let's say 200. All right. Then the width, let's increase it. So this is okay for the width. You can decide to animate it. All right. You just have to press E on the keyboard here. So you can set a key on the center, then somewhere, let me move it to maybe this side first. Then maybe something like 5 seconds, you move it to the other side. Then you can just copy the keys here. Let me just copy them. Come to 10 seconds, then paste it here. So with this, it's animated. So you see that it's going slowly. All right. So now let's name this COM V1 or video 1. Video 1. We can duplicate it to have video 2. Let me open video 2 too. Then change the image there. Let me clear this one. Then scale this one up. All right. So now we have our video plates. Let's come to the main now. Let's bring in video 1. Make it 3D. So once you make it 3D, it goes to the back. Okay. Let me switch the view to custom view 1 and see. Okay. So it's in the middle there. So I'll bring it out. I'll bring it out here. Then duplicate it. Then bring one to the back. But the one at the back, let me make it video 2. Hold the Alt key and click and drag to replace it. So I won't be needing that yet. Okay, I won't be needing it yet. So let me push it to the back a bit more. Let me switch to top view. Top view. Let's see what I have first. Too far away, but it's okay. So 1, if it's in that case, the 1 should come forward a bit more. Now, let me off video 2. I think it should go back a bit more. So let me switch to active camera. Custom view, let me push the spectrum, the one at the back. So let me push the one at the back to the back a bit more. All right, now let's come to active camera. Now let's create another null object. Okay, let me bring it up. Let me make it 3D. Now this one, let me name it video com, a video control. Video control. Then I'll select the 2 videos, then parent them to the video control. Okay. All right. So now let's do a bit of animation here. So press P for position, then hold the shift key, then press R for rotation. Okay. So on 1 second, let me move the image backwards a bit. Okay. Let me move it backwards a bit. So first, on 1 second, it will come into focus, closer to S. So this is okay. Let me pull it up a bit more. Then let me rotate it on X a bit. Let's see. This will do. Rotation on X a bit. So let me come down. So this is a gradual process. Okay. So if this is okay for you, or you can still rotate it a bit more on the X. See that? It's a cool animation, right? So we can set the animation. You can set all the keys here. Then move the timeline to the beginning. All right. Then we are just going to move it backwards. So let's go back. Then maybe from the corner here to come from the corner here. All right. Then rotation. Let's go positive. So 30, something like 33. Would do. Then let me pull it up and go there. Let's go that side. So I can decide to leave it like this or go way back. So first, let's see what we have first before we continue. Okay, so our first animation is this. You see that? How it came in. Smooth. All right. So from here, you can select the rest of the keys, then easy ease them. Okay. Now let's see. Smooth. All right. So when it comes into focus like this, maybe we might want to do a bit of display of the microphone first. Okay. So from here, let's just do a bit of Y rotation. We'll do. Okay, so I'll just rotate it maybe on Y a bit. So something like this. Then let me see Z. Then on let me see position. Let me move it. Okay, let me see. Like I said, it's a gradual process. Move it backwards a bit. So you have something like this. You just have to take your time gradually to do the animation for these things, because this is not something that maybe you have planned. So let's see if what we have now is smooth enough. Okay. So you have something like this. It comes in fast, then settles. Okay. So like this, because of time's sake, some of these smoothness, like I wanted to open it up, but all these things will take time. So when creating it yourself, take your time to work on the animation keys. Okay. So you can open it up, right? But when this one turns like this, I want, let's see, an X rotation. Let me see something here. Let me take this off. Then let me push this one in a bit. Let me see. This one is already in. X rotation. Let's go up. So let's go in like this first. So this is okay for this. So let me take this one off and this one too off. So the first video 1 is on the other side. Okay, so what I'll do is press R on a video control, then on Y rotation, let's bring it to the other side. So let's scale the videos down. Hold the shift key, press S, then scale them down so that they will be small a bit. Okay, so this will do. Then let me bring them down a bit more. So this will do. So on Y rotation, whilst this one is coming, 74. So I can let this one come from the back here. See that? So I'll start from, let me move this one backwards. I'll start from Y rotation. So when it comes into focus like this, okay, let me start from here. So from here to here, then I'll rotate it in to maybe something like 74. Let me see. 74. Okay. So this is cool. So let's play it and see. Too slow, so I'll bring it closer. Or let me just select the two keys. The easy is them. Okay. Then maybe bring this one a bit closer. See that? All right. So let's not waste time too much on this. Let's do a bit of rotation on the camera here, cam control here. So maybe whilst it's here, it will be moving a bit. So let me see. Y rotation. Let's be going. Okay. So from here, let me see. So maybe from here to here, I'll end the animation here. Then maybe from here to here again, I'll rotate it this way. The second one will come in. Okay. I'll rotate it. I'll go like this for the next one to come in. So I'll start it from here, so that the first one will go away. The first one, let's split it here. So split layer. Then let me clear this one. Oh, where is it? Let me split it here. So the first video ends here. Now the second one will start from somewhere here. Okay, let me move the lesson according to. So from here, it rotates the cam into focus. All right. Okay. So I think this video is taking too long. Okay. So let's do the end this thing. Okay. So from here, we will let's try to just put a bit of animation on this before ending it. So let me rotate this a bit more. All right. Let's go here. Like I said, gradual process to set animation for this one, because we are not using any separate XYZ positioning here. We are just using the normal camera control. Okay, by using the cam control to control the transformations on the camera. That's all that you are doing. We are not using any effects on the cam control or on the null objects. Okay, that's why it's taking a bit complicated here. It's quite simple to move. You just have to take your time, then move the thing to where you want it to animate to. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so I think from here, let me zoom in a bit, then come down here. So let me see, and move this one to closer. All right. I think this is okay. Okay, this is okay. So once it reaches here, you can end the video control animation here. Then the next thing is to just make the video one disappear. So I'll just rotate it to the other side for it to disappear. Okay. So you split the layer here. Where is it? Let me see. Where is the image? Okay, see here. So let's go for it to disappear behind the microphone. Then split the layer there. Then split the layer, the video one layer there. Then let me clear it. Okay. So we are done here. The next thing to bring is maybe a test. Okay. So I'll create a composition for the test to the 1920 by 1080. Then type inside something. Let me see. Next music star. So I think this is okay. So now let's come to the main. The main here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use video 2. I will duplicate video 2, then hold the Alt key, then click and drag the test comp to replace it, the duplicated one. So when you see here, test 1 is linked with the cam control. So I will take it off, make it none, then press R. Okay. Press P rather. So I'll bring it out into focus here. It's behind the microphone. I'll bring it into focus here. Okay. All right. So I'll position it beside it here first. All right. Now let's try to position the microphone here to this side for us to end the animation. Okay. So now let's come to the cam control. Okay. Let me bring this out a bit. So from here to here, let me see rotation. All right. Now let me rotate it down. Let's come down. Let me come down here. Then pull it up. Okay. Now let's zoom out a bit. Zoom out a bit more. Then go the other direction. So I think this is okay. So now let's come to test. Okay, let me rotate the test. Let me rotate it well. Then bring it down. Then let me see rotation. Let me scale it up. Scale it up. Scale it up here. Next, music star. Okay, let me take off the lights on the test. So I come to material options, then take off the lights so that the text will be pure white. Okay, now press R on rotation. Let me rotate it a bit towards the microphone. All right. So whilst it's being animated, it will come in here like this and settles down with the animation. Okay. But I'll animate the text here. Press P, then set a key. Then move the timeline to here, the beginning. Then maybe move the text out of focus. Then select the two keys, then easy ease them. Right click on the two keys, then easy ease. Okay. So let me end our animation somewhere here. All right. So that it come and settle in like this. You see that? Come and settle in. Okay. Now, when you watch the coming in of this, the coming in here, you have to duplicate it like video one like this. Duplicate it, then the bottom one, press P on it. Okay. Then on the Z, move it backwards. Okay, let me undo this. So let me come to effects, then apply fill to it, the duplicated one, fill to it. Okay, so when you come here, it says minus 722. That's on Z. So let's move it back a bit more. Then it becomes minus 711. Okay, so that is going to be the back, right? Now the back, you can decide to leave it at the red color. You can decide to leave it as that, but I'm going to first it was minus 722, so I'll make it minus 720. Okay, 720, so that it will be a bit closer to the video one. Okay, now let me change the color of the field to something like silver or gray. Okay, then come to the material options. Let me see it here. Material options here. Then the specular, just crank it up. Then the specular shyness, let me go 100. Then the reflection intensity, let me stick to, let me make it 50 instead of the 100. Okay, so this is okay. So now this will be the back. Okay, and this will be the front, just like that. So the next one too, you can do it like that. Just duplicate it, Control D. Okay, now the bottom one, press P on it, then apply fill to it. Okay, so it says here 728. So when we pull it up here, 728. So let me undo it. So 728, I'll make it 725. 725 or so. Okay. So when it comes into focus here, that place becomes the back. So you can just come to material options, then the reflection intensity, let me go 50. Then the specular shyness, let me go 100. Then change the color to something like a gray color. So cool. I think we are good to go here. All right. So the final scene, you can decide to lay, maybe let me see. Let me come to the spectrum here. let me copy this one. Let me copy it, then come to video 1, then I'll paste it here, then press M on the mask, then delete the mask. Okay, now let me scale this up. Let me scale it up. Rotation, let me come to 0, then scale it up a bit more. Position it down here. So I'll bring it underneath the shape. Okay, now because here there's no audio here that the effect can pick, so it's not animating. So I'll come to the video 1, where is it, the spectrum, then copy this, the sound, then come to video 1, then paste it here. Let me paste the sound here. So when I select the spectrum layer and come to effect, I can switch it to Diaglo. Okay, so you have something like this. Now let me change the color to white. Okay, so now you can select these two, then copy them, then come to video 2, then paste them here too. Okay, so let me see, let me change the audio layer to Diaglo. So okay, so we are done here, I think. So we are done here. Video 1. Okay, now let me come to the main. Okay, now let's play what we have and see. Cool. You see how simple this intro is? The intro is simple and short. Just an intro for a music talent show. You see, simple. You don't have to do much. Okay, and this you can still add up if you want. Okay, just a little bit of touches here and there, like maybe the backdrop. You can decide to bring a lens flare. Okay, a lens flare will do for the backdrop. Then introduce a bit of particles inside your scene. Then you are done. Okay, but this tutorial has taken too long, so let's end it here. Okay, so if you are able to do it this particular point, just add a bit of particle inside the scene, then introduce a lens flare inside, then you are gone. Right? All right, guys, please kindly like, subscribe, and comment. Okay, and see you next time for more tutorials.